Hi, fourth graders. This is a video to explain to you how to complete this week's Create on finding patterns on maps to explain Earth's features. The first thing that you're going to want to do is turn to page 34 of your science journal and scan this QR code. I'm assuming since you're watching this video, you have already done that. Before we get going though, let's make sure we have all the material that we need. You're going to need your journal, pages 34 to 42. You're going to need a red marker, a green marker, a purple marker, a yellow marker, and a black marker. If you don't have these color markers, you can easily exchange colors for that you do have. So for example, if I didn't have one color, I can easily exchange them for a different color that I haven't already used. You just have to make sure that your key that you're going to be keeping track of down at the bottom here is identical to the colors that you use. So before we get started, go ahead and pause this video. Find your page 34 in your science journal. Find the clear, transparent map that is in your supply bin. And then go look throughout your house for 5 different colors, preferably red, green, purple, yellow, and black. Once you've found those supplies, go ahead and hit play. Okay, welcome back, fourth graders. So the first thing you're going to do is find your world map, the clear world map. You're going to place that down on a sheet of paper for right now. The next thing you're going to do is you're going to turn to page 35 of your journal and find the world earthquake zones. So I'm going to go ahead and find page 35, which identifies the world earthquake zones. Here's page 35, and I'm going to place that underneath my transparent map. If you notice, they should line up very closely, all right? And what it tells me to do is, on your clear map, use a red marker to mark all the places on the map where your earthquakes occur, with red dashes on a line. In the key, draw a red dashed line and write earthquake zones. So your key should look like this, in red, dashed lines or hash lines, and it should say earthquakes. So I'm going to go ahead and grab my red marker, and all along the places that I see earthquakes, I'm going to mark them with dashed lines so that I know those red lines are all the places that earthquakes occur. So you want to try to gather all of them. And once you have all of the earthquakes identified, make sure that you identify your key as well. So all of the earthquakes are these little dots. And then I am going to go ahead and fill out my key on the side, and I'm going to make some dashed lines and remind myself that the dashed lines are earthquakes. So if I pick up my earthquake and remove it, I can see on my transparency sheet where all of those earthquakes occur. Now if we head back to our directions, you'll see that we have completed steps 1, 2, and 3. We are now on step 4. So turn to your world volcanoes on page 36. On your clear map, mark all the places on the map where your volcanoes have occurred with purple triangles in the key. Draw pink or purple triangles and write volcanoes. Your key should have pink or purple triangles, and then you should say volcanoes. So you're going to do the exact same thing that you just did, except now you're going to find page 36, find all of the volcanoes, and you can see they're already kind of looking like triangles. You're going to place that down. You're going to put your map back over, and you're going to mark all of those spots that have volcanoes. So to get you started, here are some of them. So you're going to find all those spots that have volcanoes, and then over here in the corner, you are going to draw triangles, and you are going to write the word volcanoes. But you're not done. Those are just a couple of them. There's a lot more to be had. So go find all those volcanoes. Pause the video and come back when you're done. All right, as you can see, we are now on step 6 and 7. Turn to the World Major Mountain Ranges on page 37. Shade in all the places on the clear world map where there are areas that the Earth's mountain ranges occur. Shade them with a green marker. In the key, create and color a green box and write mountain ranges. Let's go ahead and see what that will look like. All right, here's page 37. I'm going to pretend like I have all of my volcanoes done. Hopefully you do. I'm going to take the mountain ranges of the world and I will line them up. And the thing that's interesting with this one is the fact that the mountain ranges, that's the map that we're already using. So if you wanted to, you could just take this out, put it down on a plain sheet of paper, and mark off with a gray or green box mountain ranges. And then color in all those spots where you see mountain ranges. So all those gray spots where you see mountain ranges, those are all the mountain ranges. All right, so go ahead and pause the video and color in all the locations where the major mountain ranges of the world can be found. All right, now that you have finished steps 6 and 7, the next one we're going to look at is world population. So if you can turn to page 38 of your journal, find the map that says world population. Now this one's a little tricky because the world map that we've been drawing on doesn't actually fit perfectly over the world map that we have. So what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to kind of eyeball where do we see a world population that has more than 11 people per square kilometer. If you're not sure by looking at this black and white map, the colors that are all kind of the darker grays, so you can see them on the northeast and the southeast of the United States. You can see it along the western coast of South America. You can see it along the eastern coast of South America. You can see it all throughout Europe and as well in Asia, as well as the area right here in Africa. You're going to have to, one of the ways that you can see this maybe a little bit better is to go back to page 34 and scan this QR code, and it will show you the color map of the world population data. If you think you can handle it, what you're going to do is you're going to use your map that you have your earthquakes, volcanoes, and mountain ranges, and now you're going to grab your yellow marker and you are going to mark off where you have world population. And you're going to mark off all those locations, just kind of eyeballing. Where do you see all of those world populations? So if we were in the Northeast, I might just color in all over in here, down here. And then, you know, I might go over to South America and color in over here. So you're going to try to do the best that you can to kind of eyeball where the world population is the densest. So that means, again, remember, it means more than 11 people per square kilometer. Hit pause, and I'll see you back in a moment for our final step of our map. All right, we're now on step 10 and 11. So step 10, turn to the plate boundaries on page 39 in your journal, and with a black marker, trace all the plate boundaries or the edges of the plates. In the key, draw a black line and write plate boundaries. Let's see what that will look like. All right, now we have finished our earthquakes, volcanoes, mountain ranges, and our population. The next thing that we're going to do is we're going to put page 39 down. We're going to line that up, and we are going to find all those plate boundaries. And with our black marker, we're going to go ahead and identify plate boundaries. And we're going to identify where we see all those plate boundaries. So color in all of those locations or draw a line around all those locations. Go ahead and hit pause and join me back when you're done so we can talk about the final steps, 12 and 13, finding patterns on maps. All right, welcome back. For steps 12 and 13, when your map is completed, look for patterns that you see on your map. On page 40 and 41, write a CER. CER is a fancy acronym for Claim Evidence Reasoning. Follow the directions on page 40 and 41 to answer the question, can you find patterns from data and maps to explain the Earth's features? So you're looking for patterns on your map that might relate. So how do earthquakes, volcanoes, mountain ranges, even world population and plate boundaries, how do those relate to each other? On page 40 and 41, you're going to state a claim. So make a claim that answers the question above. You might even just restate the question above in a statement. Then make a list of evidence that supports your claim. Did you find any patterns on your map that can explain Earth's features like earthquakes, volcanoes, and mountain ranges, or even world population? Think about the activity you did with the maps, or you can use anything else you did this week with maps. Make a list of evidence you have from those activities that support your claim. These do not need to be in sentences. They can be bullet points. So think of these as details in a writing assignment that supports your main topic. Can you find patterns on a map that explain Earth's features? When you are done making your bullet points, the next thing you're going to do is you're going to move on to your reasoning. Explain in your reasoning. This is where you take your evidence and in sentences show how your evidence supports your claim. Think about how you would explain to someone the proof you have that you can see patterns on maps that help explain Earth's features, mountains, valleys, lakes, etc. Good luck, fourth graders.